This is Secret America.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Jack Danger along with Jay Gatling, and it's great to see you guys here. We have a very special guest for you today. We're going to go ahead and bring him on in because he has very limited time. This is an in-demand congressman. When you're an honest person, everybody wants a piece of you. So we have Congressman Tim Burchett here. It's great to see you. How you doing today, sir?
I am great, brother. Thank y'all so much for having me on. It's a pleasure being on with y'all.
Hey, well, the pleasure is all ours. We really appreciate it. So, and I know, like I said, you have limited time, so I want to go ahead and just jump right into it. Yesterday, and I want to ask you, yesterday you talked on the Benny Johnson show about how the things that you saw, the unredacted files, the unredacted Epstein files, have horrible, like, satanic type things in them. And people have always talked about how in the past, people thought that, like satanic pedophiles, run the world, or at least, America and things like that. After seeing what you saw, what do you think? What do you think about all those kinds of things? Are these true?
I don't think anything different than I did before I saw it. Honestly, I sponsored some of the toughest laws in the country in Tennessee. Chemical castration, death penalty, went after porn, child porn on the computers. I sponsored some of the first ICAC teams in the country. Those are internet crimes against children. They are the guys and gals that get on the computer and act like they're a kid, a minor, and they lure those dirt bags in and they catch them. And they did that, and we did it, sponsored it in all three grand divisions of the great state of Tennessee. And that was when I was in the state Senate. So that could have been in the 90s, maybe right before 2000. And so I've been in this fight for a long dadgum time, and I've seen awful stuff. But this stuff, I warn people, there's some sort of, I don't know what you'd call it, but people have a misconception about what this stuff is. They see these horror movies, and I guess we get desensitized to it, but it is some of the most vile, awful things you've ever seen or read, I guess you could say. And there's some world leaders in there. There's some business people, but we gotta figure out. I'm not the lawyer here. Mm-hmm. And just because their name's on a list or Epstein said something about them doesn't make it truthful, but it doesn't make it untruthful either.
That's true.
And also, the Biden administration had this stuff for 4 years, and I go back to my original premise: if they had something on Trump, him and Kamala Harris would have had that stuff. Probably not Biden. He wasn't really cognizant of the world he was in, but just it was off of a teleprompter or somebody whispered in his ear, or his wife or one of Obama's people actually were running the White House, in my opinion. But I think Kamala Harris would have, and I believe the Justice Department under them would have, because I think those groups have been we've been incredibly undermined in those communities. So there's a lot going on there. I think he was probably ran a pretty sophisticated blackmail type thing. Mm-hmm. People say, did he work for this group or did he work for that group? I think he worked for the highest bidder is who I think he worked for.
That makes sense. But they said the FBI tried to say that the FBI says, even today's FBI and, run by Kash Patel, is saying that, that there was no sex trafficking ring. He did not do a blackmail ring. Basically, they're trying to say nothing happened on this island. Yeah.
Well, they're going to have about 1 million pages of documentation to go over. So, and I would warn people too, that some of the victims could possibly have become traffickers later. Mm-hmm. And so
I've heard that.
And I don't know what the law is, how that works. I don't know if you get a reprieve or what. I suspect you don't, or you shouldn't, because the law is the law. And
Congressman, how long did you have to look at it, and are you going to look at it again? Is it a one-shot deal?
Well,
as many times as you want.
You can go as many times as you want. I didn't go in the Department of Justice. I've just talked to some of my colleagues. I don't need to see it to know what's in it. I've seen it before, pretty much similar stuff, some really awful things. I mean, there's these rings in this country where you can literally, in the dark web, earlier on, I mean, you could literally just order up what you wanted, and they'd have kids in cages, and I mean, it's just some pretty vile stuff that goes on in our world. We are a lost world, and I just warn people: you think you want to see this stuff, but you can't unsee it. You can't unthink it. I mean, I'm still kind of haunted by what I was told 20 something odd years ago when I was in the state legislature. And this was early on. And
what was that? What were you told?
Kids in cages and you could just pretty much order what you wanted, whether it's killing them or, I mean, these are kids in diapers.
Jeez.
Some of them. And
So
if they didn't have the kid, they could go get the kid.
Yeah.
And,
So this
this
code
is
words,
a worldwide kind of thing. This isn't something working out of some trailer park. And it's not just something you could Google and get on. There was a process to get in, and the process sometimes would take months, possibly maybe a year, and before they felt like they could trust you. And it was not a simple thing. I tell you, if I was president, I would get on I would call a press conference, and I would say, these are the top countries we know are doing this. And then I would say, you clean it up. You got 1 month, or we're cutting off all trade with you. And I say, and I'm going to send this bill to the Hill Monday morning, and I dare, and it's going to be a clean bill. And I would name the sponsors who was going to do it, who agreed to do it. And I dare anyone to stand in our way. I will come to your district and show the people what you were. And I think we could stop it. It's got to be economic. And I think you've got cartels involved in some of this sick stuff. You got to realize 300,000 kids came into this country that we didn't know where they were. And they found about 100. I think Tom Homan, who I like Tom. He's
Definitely.
I find he's a tough talking Catholic guy, and but he backs it up.
Well,
and,
Tom's a New York City cop, just like I was, Tim.
Yeah,
so
okay.
that's
where he
comes
learns
from.
it. It's a different world. It's not Knoxville, Tennessee. But
Well, you just brought up if you were president, so I have to ask you: do you have any aspirations to ever do anything?
Thank
like
you
that?
for asking that question. I wanted to know that too.
I'm 61, and I don't have enough billionaires. I don't have any billionaires behind me. And people are running, they're creating people. I mean, AOC, and there's some in our party that some have fallen on the wayside, and they brought some in. And it doesn't take long to look in their past to figure out that they've been, I don't want to use the word groomed. They've been.
Well, you're right. Groomed is the word.
Well,
Absolutely.
but they've been, they've been hatched. I forget the word I always used on this, but it's I think that the big boys kind of got who they want, and the Tim Burchett's of the world, they're still scratching their head at how I got to Congress and why they haven't killed me off yet. But I'm not suicidal.
We want you. How's that? We want you. That's what matters.
If you're not going to be president, you better stay in Congress at least for a long time.
I'd like to get to the U.S. Senate one day, but we'll see.
Oh, that'd be great. Are you kidding me? 6-year terms? Oh yeah.
We'll take it.
Well,
all right, Jay, you want to ask him about that thing we talked about?
I know we have limited time, so I wanted to ask you. You've been real outspoken about the stuff like the bases found underwater, and they call them the UAPs now. I like just UFPs, unidentified flying phenomena, because it doesn't roll off the tongue.
Yeah.
So tell us what
I'm a UFO guy. Well, I get privileged to be in a lot of meetings that I can talk about and some that I can't.
Right.
And I remembered. I always talk about the center of all media, TMZ, a guy named Colin, a black fella. He's always got this camera out there, and he's a friendly guy. And I knew he's from TMZ, and he walked by me. Hey, Congressman, you read that? Have you seen that UFO report that's coming? It's going to be coming out. I said, man, that thing will have more holes in it than a piece of Swiss cheese, or look like somebody shot it with a 12 gauge. And then he said, and then I said the magic words. I said, more people believe in UFOs and believe in Congress. I actually put it on one of my shirts, and I sell it on my website. It sells pretty good too. Actually, I saw a preacher wearing it one time, which kind of freaked me out. But
that's cool. That's cool though.
So I kind of get pulled in the middle of this. So I'm talking to a former admiral, and he described this situation where they were out. You can kind of visualize a U out in the ocean of ships, but none of them were visible to the other. I mean, like 5-10 miles apart. and they were flying some of our best aircraft out there off the decks of some of these carriers. And he's a communications guy. And he said that they started getting these reports from the pilots. Hey, we've got these objects out here. Won't go into all of it, but we've got these objects out here that are flying around. One of them's been hovering for quite a bit of time, and one of them buzzed one of our cockpits. It's getting a little dangerous. He said, do we have some secret stuff out here that we don't know about? So they call back to the Pentagon. The Pentagon says, absolutely not. Scrub the mission, because everybody, it's not ours, because if it's ours, you wouldn't get them so close to somebody's a $500 million aircraft and a pilot, best pilot, and these are the best pilots in the world, risking a collision. So they scrub the deal, and all the planes come back, and then they say, and then the next, and they did all these emails. This is several years ago, between the ships, and then the next day, guess what? No emails. They all got scrubbed. But this guy was kind of a wonk, and he'd made paper copies of all of them. So,
wow.
And then also the description of an object about a little smaller than a football field, doing over 200 miles an hour under the water. Now, the best we have is probably under 50 miles an hour. We might have something that does upper 40s, maybe something secret that you all don't know about, but that is about it. And it has no heat sensors, nothing. And so we're spotting these things in what we call deep water areas. And there's about 5 of them there. We know about the Marianas Trench, and there's others all around the world. But that seems to be where these aircraft are spotted. So it would lead one to believe that there's something there. I've explained it. I haven't said they're there. People come out and say, oh, Burchett, I get some buddy of mine called me and said, my college girlfriend called me and said, you said there's 5 underwater bases. And I said, no, I didn't. I said, there's a higher propensity of sightings. Look, we're spending billions of dollars on something. Every one of our alphabet agencies, except the IRS, has a division that's researching these things. And let's just find out what they are. When you sit in a room and somebody tells you that the president is on a need to know basis, that tells you it's out of control.
Is that like Area 51 stuff? Like
yeah, but Area 51, nothing's at Area 51. They've moved everything either to Wright-Patterson. And what they do is, from what I understand, they put it, it's not in our military's hands. They put it to the private contractors. And the reason they do that is called Freedom of Information Act. You can't get to I can request something from Ford, their top secret stuff, but they don't have to give it to me. Now, a government agency technically does. So, Freedom of Information Act and so that's why they do that. We think that's what they've done. And we've got about 5 different corporations that we know are probably involved in something. And whether it be little green men flying saucers or what, Tim Burchett just wants to know what we're spending billions of dollars on.
Exactly. That's brilliant right there. Now I want to add, there's something I've always wanted to know, and this is off topic. Well, I mean, maybe it's not off topic actually, but I want to ask you, Congressman Tim Burchett, do you think, and this is going to sound crazy, but do you think we actually landed on the moon? I just got to know. And that's something that has always bothered me. And, it's bothered the heck out of me. I got to know. What do you think? I mean, hell, you got more intelligence than I do.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I walked by a bunch of those young astronauts, and they were out schmoozing with some ladies out in front of my building, some lady congressmen, and they were all flirty and giddy, and all these staff members are all giddy. And I spoke to them, and they kind of blew me off. And then, oddly enough, guess whose office they were going to meet with?
Who's that?
Good old Tim Burchett. And the first thing I said to them was, I said, "Hey, are we going to Mars?" And they said, "We hope so." "Yes, Congressman." I said, "Shouldn't we go to the moon first?" And I didn't break a smile. And it was the most awkward 10 seconds of your life. And I go, "I'm good, dude. I'm just pulling your leg." Frankly, there's a lot of weird stuff out there. And how do you forget to go to the moon?
Exactly.
They've noticed. They've forgotten. They've lost all the knowledge to go to the moon. And there's a lot of science there that I don't understand that says that what they're telling us, they couldn't have gone to the moon, but maybe our science isn't correct.
No, I mean, did you see the thing that they said landed on the moon? It looked like it was made out of tin foil. I mean, and they had the craziest thing was the president could get on his landline and talk to the moon. They saw that on live television. I mean, I'm sorry, that was hilarious to me.
Well, again, if they did, you'd have to. How many people would have to be in on it, and somebody would have to come out, unless they all
true.
mysteriously.
That's also true. That's also
unless
true.
they all mysteriously. I mean, that's the UFO phenomena. I mean, but here again, I talked to a buddy of mine I was in the legislature with. He was in the Navy back in the 50s, and they saw a craft. It came up over the top of them, and he said it was 2 city. He said, Timbo, that thing was 2 city blocks wide. And I was like, he described
Independence Day stuff. He
described the perfect saucer and everything. And then they were just, it was early on in the nuclear race, and we had some nukes they were putting on a sub, I believe, on a missile. And he said that they, when they got back to shore, 2 men came on with briefcases and suits and told them, they said, you didn't see anything, and if you ever talk about this, you'll be busting rocks in Leavenworth. I mean, the classic Men in Black.
Yeah,
and he never talked about it.
I bet I wouldn't talk about it either. Hell,
they gave him the pen. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, no, it's before Al Gore invented the internet. So and cell phones and nothing, and there weren't book deals. So, but people had a loyalty to this country, and they trusted this country for good reason, and now they don't for good reason.
Exactly, for very good reason. Tim, before you go, real quick, can you let us know about those rifles that are behind you with the bayonets, because those are awesome. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, they are all Japanese rifles that my dad liberated. I can't remember which. When I pull them down, I can see by the markings. I know. They are, I believe, a Kisa Japanese rifles. They have. My dad was a combat engineer. Was involved in some of the most brutal fighting of the war on Peleliu, which was supposed to be a 3-day mop up, and Dad was in a combat situation over 30 days, and the other one's from Okinawa, which. He was on Okinawa when he was on the invasion of both those islands, but
really
Peleliu was incredibly bloody. But he was on Okinawa when they dropped the bomb on Japan, because they were talking about invading Japan, and they were going to need seasoned Marines, which my dad would have been. And but then they ended up dropping the bomb, and Dad went to China for a short while after that and fought the communists. But they're not worth a whole lot, but they're worth a whole lot to me.
Oh yeah,
My dad, my mama flew an airplane during the Second World War. Her brother died fighting the Nazis, and he was in the Army, and Daddy is a Marine.
Wow, you've got an amazing pedigree, and now you're a U.S. congressman. I mean, look at your past. That's wonderful. That's amazing.
They fought for this country. Y'all pay me a whole lot for it.
You're fighting for this country in a different way, but no less important.
No, listen, I'm from Long Island. My wife, you're her favorite congressman. You're mine. And I feel like you do. It doesn't matter you're from Tennessee. You represent us, because we feel like you're there actually for us. Doesn't matter that you're from Tennessee. Yeah. And please understand that I'm not the only one that feels that way. So
I appreciate you. I was in the airport the other day, and country folks kind of just tell you what they think. And this sweet lady said I gave her hope. So
you give honestly. There's so few honest congressmen left. Like right now, every question we asked you answered honestly. You didn't sidestep it or give us any bullshit. You actually answer, and then you do the things in Congress that you're actually representing your people. You're one of the very few. You've done it since the very beginning, and you have an excellent pedigree. Your family, like you just said, your mom, World War II, your dad, Okinawa, all these other things. I mean, you have, a great family history, and you're representing them well, and you're representing all of us well.
Correct.
So we really appreciate it, Tim, and thank you so much for coming on here. We really appreciate you giving us your time.
Hey, brother, it's a pleasure, and I love being on with y'all, and have me back again.
Absolutely. Oh, you got it. We're definitely going to have you. You're our favorite congressman.
No, when he's senator, Tim Burchett. How's that?
Oh, yes, senator. That's right.
I'll tell you this. I'm not going to form some search committee or something, and they always do. We're going to form a committee and to figure it out. If I'm given the opportunity to run for Senate, I'm running for Senate.
Oh, and you don't need no committee. We got your back.
Yeah.
You know, we'll all get. You've got millions behind you. People love you, so you ain't got to worry about it.
Where to send the money. Just tell us where to send the money. And we'll
we're good. You know, it's funny about the money. When I started on this UFO thing, I really didn't start on it, and they and the big boys were telling me how they were going to kill me with that. Well, it turns out about 55% of the population in the last poll believes we're not alone, and I can't tell you how many times I go in and meet with doctors and PR people and educate. I mean, just regular folks too, but educated folks that will tell me that they've seen something or they believe in it. So it's and that has actually been a plus in my column. So,
well, I have to say,
you know, we don't ever, our group never raises the money. The big boys always outspend me, but they always call me the day after the election and ask me to come by and get a check.
They outspend you, but they always concede to you, right? Yeah. I love that. But I got to say that I honestly believe in that too, because, and this is something I've never shared with anybody. I saw something when I was younger and it was just like an orange orb kind of thing, right? That just went across the sky during the day. Nothing I've ever seen before. And I've never seen it again. So it's just something personal to me. I was like 12 years old, something I've never seen before. So I believe that anything is possible. There's no way we're the only life out there.
I think Billy Graham said it best. I think he said this. He said, if you think we're the best that God can do, then you don't think much of God.
I love that. That is perfect. That is perfect. Thank you so much, Tim. We really, really appreciate you coming on here.
Appreciate you guys. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a great day. All right, that was Congressman Tim Burchett. He is awesome. I mean, I gotta say, he is definitely my favorite congressman. What a fun guy.
Yeah. Oh, we could have talked to him. I could have talked to him for hours.
Oh, man, we could have been on here for 24-hour show if if he had time. I know he's an extremely busy man, so it was nice of him to come on here with us.
Yeah, and he gave us a few extra minutes too that he probably doesn't have, so we appreciate that.
Definitely. That was so cool. So yeah, I really appreciate him coming on. Now, again, we had problems with X again. And we actually saw, before we started this, there was a little disclaimer that came up that said X is having problems with live videos and that it may not come on, which is ridiculous. So we had to actually copy the link and paste it and to post it. So it is up now on the X page and ours, but a lot of people on X didn't get to see that because of that BS. I mean, X is really letting us down lately. It had 2 major outages today, man.
Yeah, I know. 2 major outages. And I was actually just now able to repost it to my page because I couldn't even get the circle on the logo. So I just now, because I didn't want to do it while we were talking to the congressman, but I just put it out on my page now too. But I mean, that was great. I mean, he's awesome. We had so much more we could have asked him.
Oh, are you kidding me? The thing is, he's so honest, and I love this about him. He's so honest that, it takes a long answer because he's an honest man. He tells you everything. Right. And I love that about him. You're right. We could have asked him so many more questions.
Yeah. And it was great though. When he mentioned, if I was the president, I'm like, I got to ask him, will he want to be president?
I was going to say the same. I'm so glad you asked because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, all right, it's Jay's turn to ask a question. I hope he does. And you asked the exact question that I wanted to hear. So I appreciate that.
But we got in some information there. He says, I'm thinking of running for Senate. Hey,
that's wonderful. That is wonderful. If he runs for Senate, we got to get behind him. Everybody's got to get behind him.
Oh, yeah. I said, just tell me where to send the money.
Oh, yeah. No, I never donate to politicians, but he is one of the few that I would donate to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, he actually, and we're not just saying this because he's on the show.
No.
I actually feel like it. Like, of course, I'm not his direct constituent. But I feel like he's there for me. I feel like he's fighting for us as MAGA, America First, we're not Republicans, MAGA, America First. That's who I feel like Tim Burchett is. And he just is honest. Like you said, he gives you an answer. If he can't answer it, he tells you, I just can't answer it. But, you never get the sidestep. You never get a political answer. You just feel like you're talking to a regular guy. He even said to us, Jack, we were calling him Tim because guess what? He said, call me Tim.
And he did.
He said to us as soon as he came on, he's like, I said, hey, Congressman, how are you? He said, before he came on to the show in the studio, and he said, no, call me Tim. I said, okay. And I still called him Congressman a couple of times, but we were calling him Tim because that's what he said to do.
You're absolutely right. And that's why he's an everyman. He is someone that connects with the people and represents the people, and you can feel sincerity and honesty. You can feel that in people, and obviously you can feel that in him. So we really appreciate him coming on.
It's like he's grateful to be there.
And
You know
that's what you should. I feel like that's what you should be. You're representing millions of people. Not and when you're in Congress or in the Senate, you're not representing. I mean, sure, the Tennessee people voted you in, but you're not just representing them because your vote affects everybody in the country. Really, it affects everybody in the world, honestly.
Exactly. And you could tell, like, when we said that to him, he appreciated it. Like, wow, he's like, that's what I want to feel. That's what I want to hear. And he said that woman said, I gave, you gave me hope. You give me hope. That means a lot. And, and that's how, everybody else, if you're ever running for Congress or people that are in Congress, take some notes off of this guy. I mean, really? Come on. Can't get any better than that.
No. And they should absolutely take some notes off of him. That's good. That's good. Because if you want to be, somebody that people actually appreciate, somebody that people, admire, then that's what you want to do. Jay, let's go ahead and switch gears. So the big thing that we want to talk about today, we are actually going to show something that I don't think anybody knows about. This is someone, and I'm going to put it up real quick. I'm going to put up the photo first. Okay, right here is a photo. This guy is Matthew Lau. I'm going to say Lau. It's Liao. I'm just going to say Lau. Matthew Lau. Okay. He is a WEF, World Economic Forum linked bioethicist, and he has called for the genetic modification of humans to reduce meat tolerance. What that means is he wants to genetically modify humans' DNA to where every human born in the future is allergic to meat. He also says that there are animals out there like ticks that if they bite you, certain ticks, that it will make you allergic to meat. And that makes you wonder, are people like the WEF, which is kind of like the evil organization bent on taking over the world, the Globalist Cabal? The WEF is not the Globalist Cabal. The Globalist Cabal is above the WEF. The WEF is just like some random evil world organization bent on world domination, like you see in Austin Powers or something, But this man is part of that. And this is their thought process. So if they can't genetically modify you, what are they going to do? They're going to put these ticks together and throw them out in cities to bite you, and then you can no longer eat meat. Why? Climate change. They think cow farts are causing climate change. So what do? Make you allergic to meat. That way there's less cows. They don't even make, we're not going to make cows anymore. But that doesn't make you allergic to milk. That doesn't make you allergic to dairy. So I don't understand the process here, Jay.
It's just about control, like everything else.
Exactly.
That's it. It's about control. It's how we can control people, and everybody, not everybody, are people that don't like meat, but most people like meat. They like steak. Even he said in the clip, I think you're going to play, Jack, you're going to play his clip.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. He even said, I like meat too. But wait a minute. Then this is about control for you, because guess what? He ain't going to stop eating it. You will. Okay. You will. He's part of the up here, and you are the everybody else down there. You see how this works? But yeah, I mean, come on. It's about control. It's not about saving anything. It's all nonsense. We know it is. It's a big scam. A big scam.
You're absolutely right. It is all about control. I'm going to go ahead and play this video. I want everybody to take a listen to this guy.
People are not willing to give up meat. Yeah, some people will be willing to, but other people, they may be willing to, but they have a weakness of will. They say, wow, this steak is just too juicy. I can't do it. I'm one of those, by the way. So, but so here's the thought, right? So it turns out that we know a lot about, we have these intolerance to, for example, I have milk intolerance. And some people are intolerant to crayfish. So possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you'll become allergic to meat. I can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's something that we can do through human engineering.
That's something that we can do through human engineering. That's what they want to do. They don't want to, they want to make sure the cows don't fart by making you allergic to meat, Jay.
Yeah, it sounds great. I mean, you listen to him, and first of all, that guy, I'm going to let that guy control my life. You out of your freaking mind? Not happening. And I mean, this is, I'm like I said, I'm one of those people. I don't want to give it up, and he won't give it up. You will.
He won't. The elite don't do what they say.
Yeah, exactly. Rules for thee, not for me. Is that what they're saying? Is Jack? I mean, give me a break. You just heard it right there. I mean, it doesn't get any more plain English than that, does it? Come on.
No, they're not going to do what they say. They're just, like you said, it's just going to be rules rules for them, rules for you and not for them, rules for thee, not for me, like you said. So, I mean, there's no, it is all about control. They don't give a damn about cow farts. They know that there's no climate. I mean, obviously there's climate change, but that's because the climate has always gotten hotter and colder throughout world history. I mean, throughout billions of years, it always goes up a few degrees or down a few degrees. That's why there's been ice ages. That's why there's been, hot, I don't think there's a hot age. I don't know what the hell you call it, but that's why, those things happen because it's a part of the climate.
It's a part of the earth, right? It's part of the atmosphere. It's part of what happens. I mean, I don't know. That's above my pay grade, but here's the thing. That guy, and this comment right here, Jack, I have to read it. O2 Systems, O2R. That dude doesn't even fit in his suit. Someone needs to shove some bacon in his mouth. That's a great comment. I mean, come on.
Deborah's right, though. I have to admit, Deborah said, remember COVID, everyone fell in step.
Yes.
Everyone will again, Jay, despite the fact that, no, look, the people are very gullible, and what they'll do is they'll be looking for vaccines. They're like, oh no, I'm not going to do vaccines or sickness anymore. But when it comes to something else, they will fall for something else. I promise you.
Yeah, they're probably they're thinking of something else because they can't run down that, play that one again, because you're right.
Nope.
People like, I'm not falling for that one again. Enough people will say, I'm not falling for that. There are still people that will, but not enough. So you're right. They're thinking of something that we haven't thought of yet. It's kind of like how criminals do things. It's kind of like how terrorists think. When they tried to blow up the World Trade Center in 1993, they drove a truck under the building, tried to blow it up and knock it down. And we stopped that, right? We had truck checks. We made sure cars couldn't get in there without being searched. So what'd they do? They didn't just hijack a plane. No. Hijacking a plane, they used to hijack it and land it somewhere. No, we're going to do this. We're just going to learn how to fly a plane and crash it into the buildings. So it's kind of like they think of something that you haven't thought of yet in order to pull off their scheme. And here's the thing too. Yeah, they want to do it soon, but in reality, there's no time frame on this stuff. They'll wait till the right time until they think they have the right plan. You're exactly right, Jack. They're thinking of something that we haven't thought of yet.
Exactly. I am going to switch gears for a second, Jay, because I've got something crazy that I want to show everybody. Okay, so how the Epstein files, a lot of stuff has come out about people in the Epstein files. So there's a guy that something just came out about him. Okay, his name is Leon Black, and I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but this is him right here. His name is Leon Black. He is the co-founder of the parent company that owns LifeTouch. He has been listed in the Epstein files. LifeTouch is the biggest school picture company in America. Photographs millions of kids every year. Okay, so what this could be and why people are scared, why schools are canceling their contracts with this guy, is because these pictures could be given to these pedophiles. Say, here's what I want to order. I want this kid. I want that kid. That's what could be happening here. Yeah, they take pictures in millions of schools, millions of kids across the country. So that could be literally, you had heard Tim Burchett. People were ordering kids. This could be part of that.
I just don't like the name. LifeTouch.
Mm-hmm.
It's just everything about these people makes me cringe. Everything.
But I mean, you got to think this guy is photographing millions of children and he was listed in the Epstein files.
But the name LifeTouch, like, really, can you put it any more out there in our face? It's so freaking disturbing. It really is. And I wish the congressman could have, I know he can't, but I wish he could have gotten into a little deeper what he saw in there, but he can't. I get it. No,
I get it also. He's got, he's bound by certain things, which makes sense. You can't do that, but it is, I mean, the things that are coming out are sickening, but like he said, these people worship, Satan. I mean, he said, this is satanic shit. I want to show you something. Did you know all of the people that your children worship, all of the musicians, and especially the musicians, actually, they all do this devil worshiping symbolic shit right on the stage. Take a look at this. I want you to check this out. This is an actual photo of different people and their stage productions. Look at this.
Yeah.
You see this right here? You've got all of these people and their different things that they've done. You got Justin Timberlake, Cardi B, Billie Eilish, The Weeknd, Nas, you got all Meg Thee Stallion. Look at this stuff. These are videos or not just videos, but what do you call them? Stage productions or shows that they've done. Real ones.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is different than Ozzy Osbourne eating a bat. Okay,
Yep.
this is a little different than Alice Cooper and all. No,
They did
was
that
like
for shock value.
exactly.
This is
that
not.
was like theater, right?
Yes.
That was theater. This is actual, like, to me, ritual. This is ritual being played out on stage by these sick, and they do it on these award shows. What was the one with who was throwing up all over somebody? I mean, these people are sick.
I saw that too. Oh my God. And it was almost like it was supposed to happen.
Yes.
Like they were doing it on purpose, the throw up thing. Who was that? That was sick.
Was it Britney Spears or Lady Gaga? It was one of them.
It was Lady Gaga. Thank you for saying yes. Lady Gaga was throwing up on this girl who was acting like it was sexual.
Right. That
sick. Whoa.
First of all, let's not even talk about the diseases you could possibly get from having somebody throw up on you. Number one, who wants to get thrown up on ever? You don't want your own kid on you when they're babies. We're going to let a grown adult throw up on you on stage in front of millions of people. You're sick. There is something going on here that's not, we're not, it's not just, like we said, this isn't theater. This isn't just shock value. These people believe this stuff. You have to believe in something to allow somebody to throw up on you. I don't know. The more we find out, the more sickening it gets.
Well, let me ask you, Jay, do you know who Howard Lutnick is?
Of course.
Who is Howard Lutnick?
Howard Lutnick is the Secretary of Commerce, I believe.
I believe you're right, because I was asking because I honestly don't know. I know
he's a Commerce Secretary.
So check this out. There was a torture room in Epstein's house that was it looked like a dentist office. It had a dental chair and all the sick tools. There are masks of actual people's faces on the walls. Did you see this?
I did not.
Now look at this. One of them looks exactly like Howard Lutnick. Take a look at that. Take a look at that. That is one of the masks. And these masks that were on the torture room were real people's faces. People that have been there. Does that look like Howard Lutnick to you?
It looks like them. Do we have any other people that we know? Masks?
Oh, yeah. Let me show you. Let me show you the dental. Oh, boy. Yeah. So first of all, I'm going to show you. And these were actually released. Check this out. This is the only extra photo that I have. I'm going to see if I can zoom in on it, but I don't know if I can. Anyways, take a look at this. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit. I can't. You can see the masks on the background. You see them? Yeah. It's hard to see in this photo. But look at the dental chair. This was a torture room with masks from people that have been there. What they do is they do like the plaster, or wooden masks, and then they paint them to look like the person that was there. It's like a commemorative thing, Yeah. And look at that is the torture room. Look, that's a dental chair and this is the real Epstein photos. These are real photos from USA Today. And one of them looks exactly like Howard Lutnick. And I will tell you, the masks that were in there, like I said, are of people that have visited the island and people that have participated in whatever torture that this was. And I believe he even talked about torture in emails with Epstein. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. But that's what I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, that's what happened. And then you see something that looks an awful lot like Howard Lutnick in this torture room.
Well, listen, we don't know that that's him, but does it resemble him? Yeah, absolutely. But Jack, I think those are just people that had a root canal done.
Well, he was offering free dental service to all the islanders.
Yeah. So after you got a root canal, because it's painful, they figure they put a mask of you up on the wall, as a commemoration. Listen, Howard Lutnick was Cantor Fitzgerald. Cantor Fitzgerald lost basically their whole company on 9/11. The entire company. Yep. Was killed on 9/11 when the World Trade Center fell. Howard Lutnick, after that, did the right thing and basically paid millions of dollars to the families of his employees for years, covered their health insurance, covered their salaries, and then some.
But did you see what happened on 9/11? Did you hear the story?
Yes, how he was supposed to be there and he took his child to school that day.
He never took his children to school. Never.
Correct. Now, we're not accusing Howard Lutnick of anything here, but now that more stuff comes out, it just makes you think. And again, we start getting more questions than we have answers, right? Mm-hmm. When it comes, and what I don't like about Howard Lutnick is that he lied. He
Yes.
lied about never speaking to Jeffrey Epstein. He told his wife, I'll never hang out with that creep again, or something along those lines. And then it turns out he had lunch with him, or was out at lunch with him, discussed business with him here. That's a problem for me. Anybody that discussed business with Howard Lutnick or had any kind of serious or any kind of relationship whatsoever with him after 2008, when he was already a convicted sex offender, I have a problem with that. I just do. And Howard Lutnick is part of President Trump's administration, and I think he's done a decent job as the Commerce Secretary. I like some of the ideas. But hey, listen, I need something here. I need an answer. I just do. And we're down the middle here. We call balls and strikes. And just because he's quote unquote on our team, you're not getting a free pass. I'd like to know what the hell's going on here with him.
Well, let me tell you that I've got something crazy here. Okay. Remember how we proved that the body on the gurney, and I forgot, damn, I wanted to ask Tim Burchett about this, but I forgot. Remember how we proved that the body on that gurney was not Jeffrey Epstein?
Yep.
We actually, in one of our previous episodes, we showed actual evidence that nobody else has that proved that he was not the body on that gurney. He was not the body on that gurney. We proved that. Get this. We know, at least I think he's still alive, and that he was an actual agent. And on our last episode, we showed that he had a passport from, I would say, about 40 some odd years ago. And it was an Austrian passport. And he was living in Saudi Arabia under an assumed name, Marius Fortelny. We proved that. That was real. Okay? So it stands to reason that he might be an actual CIA agent. This was a whole setup. Okay? Now, get this. What if Ghislaine Maxwell, what if the person that they trot out there at Ghislaine Maxwell is also not Ghislaine Maxwell? What if Ghislaine Maxwell is with Jeffrey Epstein right now, and they were both in this together as agents? What if that were a possibility?
Anything is possible at this point. Anything.
Let me show you something. Okay? I want you to take a look at this, and you tell me what you think, okay? Take a look at this, guys. That's Ghislaine Maxwell. That's the person they trot out, okay? That's Ghislaine Maxwell. That's the person they trot out. Look at the nose.
Different nose.
Look at the nose.
Different nose.
That doesn't look like her to me. I'm just saying.
Let me look at the ears. Go back again.
I actually have another video I want to show you, but I'll go ahead and show you this one too. Go ahead.
I'm looking at the ears.
Look at the nose.
The nose for sure. And
look at the right ear to the other right ear. That's weird. That's weird. Look how long this ear is and compared to that. But the nose is the thing that's most convincing. I don't care if you gain 1,000 pounds. Your nose does not get bigger. It does not get wider.
That right there, that looks like Ghislaine Maxwell's little brother.
Yeah. And look at the nose right here. There is no protrusion where the nostrils are. There's no protrusion. But here, there is a big protrusion right there. Yeah. You can't even see the nostrils.
Did she have a nose job?
No, not that I'm aware of. It would have had to have been in prison. It would have had to have been in prison. But let me show you something else. Okay? I am going to show you something else. And it's another one of these things that might open your eyes, maybe even a little more. So people, like I said, if you've been watching our show, we proved that body on that gurney was not Jeffrey Epstein. Go back and look, okay? Go back and look. Now take a look at this. This is very interesting right here, okay? This is the, I'm going to show you her prison, her mugshot from when she first got arrested to the person today, okay? You want to see it? I want to show you. Let me move this out of the way. Let's move us all out of the way. All right, take a look at this. They're comparing the faces. 39% match using AI. 39% match of those two pictures right there, those two people. You can compare the faces for free online. Yeah, it's a big ad. But look at that. Look at that person on the left and that person on the right. Look at the nose. I want you to take a special look at the nose.
All right. Well, somebody's saying, you guys, I'm a commercial photographer. Lighting will change features. That much?
It'll change your nose?
Much?
Look. So look, the person has a protrusion. Let me show you something. Okay. So this person has this person right here. Let me pull this back. Okay. So this person right here has a protrusion where their nose comes outward, down. You can see that. When you see her picture, you cannot see her nostrils. The other person has no protrusion of the nose.
Right.
It's back, and you can see the nostrils. Take a look again. Take a look again. Okay, let me bring up the bigger one. Let's go back to the other one because by the way, AI said that was a 39% match of that face to the other face, which means that is not a match at all, if you ask me. But take a look right here. Okay, look here. You can see the nostrils. There's no protrusion of the nose. Now take a look here. You cannot see the nostrils. There's a big protrusion of the nose. That is massive, if you ask me.
And it's the same angle. It's not like it's up or down. It looks like from the same angle. Listen, I'm not saying it's not just Ghislaine Maxwell.
I'm not either.
We're not saying that. But what we're saying is this. You're telling me that by that picture and with all the stuff that's gone on around Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell over the years, all the stuff we haven't been told that we now know, that we still don't know, that we think I mean, come on. At least question. You can't say lighting will change features. That's a lot of lighting.
Lighting cannot change your nose. I mean, my God, especially if it's the same angle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I listen, I get it. Lighting does change features, but to me, that's a different person.
Yeah. And even AI said it was a 39% match between the two. And AI examines all features. Okay. And for someone that said, so Dan Bongino and Kash Patel are liars, I don't think they're liars in the sense that they want to lie. I think they're liars in the sense that they are probably being forced to lie. The same way that a lot of people in Congress are being kind of blackmailed, either blackmailed or bribed. It's the only reason that you would put every country and every legal above American citizens, because you're getting something out of it or you're being forced to do it. There's no other reason. I'm sorry.
I think it's why Dan Bongino left. I think
exactly.
I think this is why Dan Bongino left. I'm putting myself in Dan Bongino's shoes, and I could do that. Dan Bongino was in the same police academy class as me. I didn't know him. It's a big class, but I know how he thinks. And I think that he took this job because who wouldn't want to be the second at the FBI if you're a law enforcement background? Of course, you want to take it. You think, you know what it was, Jack? I think it was like when a man or a woman says about their partner, the person they're in a relationship with, I can change him. I can change him. Yep. And he might have said when he went to, you know what? I could break through. I can do this. And when he got there, I think maybe he's like, I can't do it anymore because I can't do it. And I gotta cut bait. I have to cut bait. And I think that's why he left, because I don't think he's a liar. I just think he had to go because he knew he was running into a wall every which way. And I think I'm hoping that his conscience just got to him and said, I can't in my good conscience look in the mirror and do this anymore. I can't lie like this. I can't not lie, but I can't not tell the truth. What I think is truth. I can't do it.
Exactly. And you can tell based on their demeanor when they said, he killed himself. You could tell they were uncomfortable. You can tell it's not something that they really wanted to say. I mean, you could tell these kinds of things based on just, basic human behavior. I mean, anybody can sense, like we said earlier, you can sense when people are not genuine. Tim Burchett was very genuine.
Body language, right? Body language. Okay. Like you said, you could tell that they would not. And let's ask anybody. Would you us out here? Would you be comfortable saying, "Oh, absolutely for sure, Jeffrey Epstein killed himself"? No, you wouldn't.
Especially with the stuff we've shown you on here.
Exactly. All right. So I got to go back to it. The O2R is saying shadow and specularity will contour features. That's literally what photographers do. All right. Listen, you're a professional photographer. We'll take your word for it. But me looking at that photo and then AI comparing two photos says no. But
I got to say the AI compares features. It says the 39% match. I mean, I can understand if you want to say that, lighting can contour this and make the nose look much smaller and wider. Weird. I don't know. But AI can account for that. AI has an algorithm that accounts for such things and doesn't just go by the lighting, goes by the eyebrows, the eye shapes, the eye color, the nose, the jawline, the ears. It goes by everything. Yeah. And they say it's a 39% match. This person does not look like this person. I mean, it is what it is. I understand that you're a photographer and you say that, and for some reason you're really holding on to this position. But I mean, AI is what it is.
It's taking measurements. It's doing everything. It's the distance of the eyes, the length of the nose, the ear. AI is taking all that stuff into account. So anyway, whatever you can agree to disagree on it, but to me, it's questionable. Absolutely questionable. That does not look like the same person to me. And lighting aside, anyway.
Absolutely. So let's just move on. I mean, there's no reason that we can't agree to disagree and then move on. There's no reason that we can't, we don't need to, be arguing and, all that BS, because that's the kind of shit that tears apart the right. We're in those kind of arguments right now with the whole Erica Kirk thing, with the whole Jeffrey. I mean, there's just so much, stuff that's tearing us apart. Charlie Kirk, what happened to him, and how people think it's being handled, and Erica Kirk, and it's all tearing apart the right, the MAGA coalition, and we don't need anything else to tear us apart. We all need to stick together.
Exactly. We could agree to disagree and move on, and know that God forbid, and know that we have to win these elections in 2026 and 2028, and we could still disagree on certain things, but we know that there is no other option. We need MAGA America First to roll on. It's a revolution, not a movement. Movement stops.
Exactly.
Revolution keeps coming around, and we got to keep
exactly. Now, I've got something to show you guys. Take a look at this tweet. Okay, this is a tweet from an actual congressman, Congressman Randy Fine. Okay, I want you to take a look at this. He says, and I'm going to see if I can bring it up a little more. Look at that. He says, if they force us to choose, the choice between dogs and Muslims is not a difficult one. He is talking about choosing Muslims, I believe, in this particular instance.
Oh, no. He's choosing dogs.
Oh, he is. Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Good.
Oh,
good.
Randy Fine is absolutely choosing dogs. Yes.
Good, because the things that I saw some, now I wasn't 100% sure, but some of the reposts I saw, and people said, just different things. I wasn't sure if he was choosing dogs or Muslims.
No. Randy Fine is absolutely pro-Israel congressman. Yeah, he's choosing dogs. Yep.
So pro-Israel means you hate Muslims?
No, what he's doing here is he's triggering people because of that tweet right below.
No, I see that. But
that's what he's doing. And he baited them in, and they took it hook, line, and sinker, including Gavin Newsom. And then he's like, well, here's the context, because this person that Mamdani, is basically saying that dogs should be not be allowed to be household pets. So what he's saying is, I'm choosing my dog. Sorry, you guys can go.
Well, check this out, Jay. I am actually a part of Community Notes. So I can see community notes that are proposed that everybody else can't see because they're not actual community notes yet. So let's look and see some of these real quick.
All right.
For this tweet. Okay, this one says, Randy Fine is a bigot. That is an excellent community note. That one, why is that one not out there for everybody to see? It's an excellent argument. It addresses the tweet. Tell me, Jay.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I tell you, that person really went deep with that one. I mean, come on. Really? You got to do better than that. If you're able to do community notes, you got to do a little better than that. Come on now.
Exactly. Like, look at this. Yes, that was a real post by Rep Fine. It's not AI or Photoshopped. That's correct. Why these community notes are not getting on there. These people are morons.
Yeah, that is a real post. Randy Fine. He did, Jack, if you look at his account, he posted on it again.
Yeah, but I mean, it's his account. I mean, it can't be, oh my. Yeah, look, here's one that says Randy Fine co-sponsored Florida State Bill HB 269, making it a felony to maliciously harass, threaten, or intimidate people for their religion or ethnicity. Governor Ron DeSantis signed it into law while visiting Jerusalem, Israel. So they're basically saying that these two are highly pro-Israel people. And that's why a lot of the community notes, Jay, will not make it onto the actual thing that everybody sees.
Well, Randy Fine is unapologetically pro-Israel. Absolutely.
Well, then, that's just why I'm saying a lot of these you will not see make it on. Most people don't see those because they don't make it into actual community notes that go out there, because it has to address the tweet and it has to actually, show some kind of source. These are just bullshit, allegations and shit.
Jack, you could write community notes. Here's the one you're going to write. You're going to write, he put this on and added context right there. There's the community note. That's it. The context was added when he was talking about how the person in New York City was saying that dogs should not be allowed to be household pets because they're unclean. That was why Randy Fine did it.
I don't want to put community notes on a tweet that is true or opinion. You want to put a community note on something that's a lie or incorrect.
All right, fine. Leave it alone.
Because I will tell you, if you put a community note on somebody's tweet, they automatically don't get paid for it, no matter what happens.
Well, he can't anyway.
Huh?
He can't get paid anyway.
I know, but I'm just saying anybody. If you say you're backing somebody up on there with a community note, say, hey, yeah, this tweet's correct, where they automatically, that tweet doesn't get paid. So you don't want to put community notes lightly. You know, I don't take my power lightly, Jay.
Hey, and you should not take it lightly. You should take it lightly. It's a great responsibility on this app to make sure, especially now, that people aren't just putting fake stuff out there for rage and clickbait, because it's all over the damn place. And it's like, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm seeing pictures and I'm like, that picture cannot be real. You know what I do? I ask Grok, and I'll ask it a couple of times just to make sure that Grok isn't wrong. And I'll ask it 3 or 4 times if I need to say, Grok, are you positive? Because some of the stuff I'm seeing, and it might be something that if it was real, I'd be like, oh, that's awesome. But I'm like, it's not real. I wish it was real, but it's not. Stop doing it. Because when something is real, it's going to be the boy who cried whatever, and nobody's going to believe it anyway. It's crazy.
I will say, Jay, I want to do a little bit of thing. I don't know if anybody knows about this, but the Pima County Sheriff, Chris Nanos, said the entire Guthrie family, siblings, and spouses included, have been cleared in the Nancy Guthrie investigation. So apparently it's not Tommaso Cioni and Ann Guthrie, which is shocking to me.
Me too.
I would have. So you know what this tells me? It's got to be the Clintons. Gotta be the Clintons.
Maybe that's why Hillary. She's still in Munich, or did she come back yet? But
yeah, she's got an alibi.
Jack, I posted it yesterday. Did you? You know, they found gloves. Now they're connecting DNA on the gloves. Did you read that a lot of the gloves that they're finding belong to the people that are searching? I was like, wait, what? You're taking your gloves that you're using and throwing them into a crime scene? What is going on?
I have no idea what the hell's going on. And I know they found unknown male DNA inside the house. Okay. And I'm going to tell everybody right here. And I know this is, it's true, at least in my perspective. I think she died the day she was kidnapped. She died the day she was kidnapped. Here's a woman that has a pacemaker, an Apple Watch. Did you know that the Pima County Sheriff's Office was flying above the city in a helicopter with a signal sniffer, trying to get a signal from her pacemaker? You have to be within a certain amount of feet to get a signal. Do you realize how much money they're spending on this investigation for a woman that was most likely killed when she was taken? No offense, but this woman took daily medication, and we're on day 13. The medication was left in the house when she was taken. Okay? This woman died the day she was. I'm sorry to say, it is what it is.
Are we only on day 13?
Yeah.
Or is it more?
It's ridiculous. No, it's day 13.
It's day 13.
It
feels like it's day 53.
Yes,
but,
it does.
You know, and I mentioned, did I mention this the other day? Somebody put out a reel, and the guy was like, I'm not trying to be mean, but at this point, Nancy Guthrie, Savannah, put her on the back of a milk carton, because nobody else would get this much attention. It's kind of ridiculous at this point.
It might be day 15.
Day. It's 15.
I'm not sure. That's what Phantom said. I don't know what day. I thought I heard 13 earlier, but let me look.
All right. I thought it might have been a little longer. I don't know. It's just been going on forever. But you know, at this point, the amount of money, like you said, the amount of attention, it's taking up the entire news cycle. It's crazy while we have important stuff going on. And
it is 15.
And I'm not trying to say I don't feel bad for Savannah Guthrie and her family or Nancy Guthrie. I hope she's safe. Some miracle happens. But it is absurd the amount of time that our media is just dedicating to this.
But it's on purpose. It's on purpose. Now, let me tell you, I asked Google right here. I just saw, and they said that she was last seen on January 31st. Wouldn't that make this day 16 or 17?
Yeah, we're looking at day 16. Yeah,
at minimum day 16, right?
Yeah. I thought it was a little longer. I was like, there's got to be more. It's got to be, because I feel like it's 50.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. And it's ridiculous, because I'm telling you right now, she was dead the day she was kidnapped, okay? And Savannah Guthrie putting out these videos is just the most insincere, disingenuous bullshit I've ever seen. I don't think, and from what I understand, she never gave a fuck about her mom, excuse my language, before this, and I still don't think she does by her actions.
Well, now Savannah Guthrie's talking about quitting the Today Show because they did a segment with a mom a few months ago, and now she's saying, I feel like maybe I made my mother a target because I put her on TV. I don't know. I mean, that's
disingenuous. She will never quit. She's looking for sympathy, and because I heard that they were thinking about cutting her because of her contract being up.
Yeah.
And she was worried about that. Read up on that.
I heard that too. That she was asking all the time, how are the ratings with me out? I've been out, blah blah blah. How are the ratings? And she was flipping out. This whole thing is so bizarre. But now you say the family's been cleared. The family's been cleared. So
supposedly,
okay,
that's what the sheriff says. But can you really clear anybody when you don't know who the hell did it?
I'm gonna stay out of it at this point.
I hear you there. Look, guys, I wanna thank Congressman Tim Burchett for coming on the show. He was excellent. He answered all the questions. He was honest. He was genuine, unlike Savannah Guthrie. He was genuine. And you could tell, that he's a good man that actually wants to help people. Yeah. What do you think, Jay?
I agree. I mean, we can't thank him enough for coming on. And I think he's someone, like I said, that appreciates the position he's been given by the people who voted for him. And I think he loves this country. And I couldn't be more happy. And I really do hope he runs for Senate. I really do.
Oh, absolutely. And you heard it here. He is going to be a senator one day. You heard it on Secret America First. Now, let me tell you, tomorrow we have Roger Stone, okay, Trump's closest political advisor, Roger Stone, coming on the show tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. We are doing our show now every weekday, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure to come right back here tomorrow to see us with Roger Stone. For Jay Gatling, I am Jack Danger. Thank you for watching Secret America.
You've been listening to Secret America.